live. I'm live. Okay, there we go. All right, I don't think anybody's here yet, so I'll give it a minute. I'll be right back. Okay, let's see. Hey, Dana. All right, hold on for just a second and stretch. I think this light is going to work. Philip was saying how he caught a glimpse of one of my videos. He was like, damn, baby, that's dark. And so he helped me with this contraption that looks like one of them studio lamps with the big giant umbrella. So, see what I'm talking about? So now we have a little more light on our final day. Okay, let's see. The light's okay. I can see myself. Resting bitch face. Actually, okay, I'm good. All right. Let's go ahead and get my materials. Sorry, kids. I was just waiting a second to see if any more people popped in. And I'm not sure how I feel about this light, really. Screw it. Let's see. I don't know. Dana, are you there? Which one is better, with the light, without the light? Anybody? I'm going to go without the light because every time I look at it, I feel like I'm burning a retina. Okay. In yesterday's lesson, excuse me, we did the body of the bear. In today's final lesson, we're going to put the head, the ears, the body, all of it together. We're going to make the cute little contouring in the face. We're going to embroider the nose and eyes, and we're going to start by knitting the head. So I got my yarn. And I hope y'all did your homework. I'm looking at mine. I did mine. Just saying. Okay. Got my yarn ready to go. I got my 4 double pointed needles, and just like every other pattern, or excuse me, every other piece in the pattern, our slip knot's going to have a nice, hello Diane, a nice long cast on. Okay, so do your slip knot and cast on double pointed needles, 9 stitches. 1, 2, yeah, I like the new light better. 3, it felt artificial and strange, and we're having a cloudy day, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to divide these onto 3 other needles. 3 stitches on 2 other needles. So you'll have 3 on each needle. 1, 2, 3. Set that there. Suspended in midair. 1, 2, 3. Knitting is magic. Look at my cute little Dante bandana. I'll explain that in a minute. Like it needs explanation, but I have an essay to say about it. All right, so I'm going to join this round, knit all 3 stitches on each needle. 1, 2, 3. Oops. My hands are cold. Philip's gone today, so I can turn the air conditioner off. I'm comfortable with 80, 85 degrees, I'm telling you. I'm a true Southerner. Last needle. 1, 2, 3. Oops. 3. Now we're going to, on each needle, knit 1. The second stitch, knit front and back, knit 1 all the way around. So, knit 1 front and back. Oops. Knit 1. Next needle. Knit 1 front and back. Knit 1. Next needle. Knit 1. Knit 1 front and back. Knit 1, and then knit all the way around the next entire row. I was going to say that I live in Orlando. Many of y'all don't know that, I'm sure. I've written a lot about it. But we're in a mandatory mask city. And we just can't afford masks. They're just way too expensive. So we're wearing bandanas, and it's just like when you get up in the morning, you put on your clothes, you just go ahead and put your bandana on, because if it's a day like today where I'm probably going to leave the house a couple of times, they won't let you in the store or anywhere else if you don't have your mask on or your face covering. And it has happened to me one too many times where I left the house, just went up to 7-Eleven, and I was like, damn it. Now I have to turn around and walk back. So it's just something we do now, and it's a nice little kind of fashion thing, you know. What's funny is that we get our bandanas from the Hobby Lobby because they're only 99 cents, and they're cotton, and all the fun ones are gone now. Even like basic bandanas are pretty much almost all gone. Next row, we're going to knit front and back every single stitch all the way around. Front and back. Let me see what y'all's saying over here. Hi, Dewana. The D's are here. Knit 1 front and back. Knit 1 front and back. Knit one front and back. One front and back. Knit one front and back. Knit one front and back. Last needle. By the way, I was telling you yesterday, I wanted to play a little game with myself, see what happens when I pull my yarn and what book it ends up hitting over there. And last night it was Barbarians at the Gates. Always wanted to read that book. I love the film with James Garner. I've never read the book and I really wanted to. So I found it at a thrift store a couple of years ago for $1. So I have it when I'm ready to read it. Now we're going to stop, excuse me, I keep saying stock and knit when we're running in the round, but it's not. It's just we're going to knit 3 rows. 1, 2. The second needle still on the first row, or row 1. So the thing Philip said was, basically is like, damn, dude, can you at least look in the window so they can see your face? They don't need to see my face. Second row. Knit all the way around. We're basically like, again, when I was saying yesterday about amigurumi, we're making a snout. We're giving, so rather than it being a round ball, which would be perfectly okay, I guess, but instead of it just being round like that, we're increasing the front of the bear's head so that we have room for contouring. Two. Final row. Knit all the way around. Row 3. I almost poked my eye out. Did you see that? Maybe I should turn it back this way. My husband tried to kill me. He knew I would do that. He knew I would do that. And last needle. Okay, now we're going to knit 3, knit 1 front and back, knit 3, knit 1 front and back on each needle all the way around. One, 2, 3, knit 1 front and back. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, knit 1 front and back, and next needle. Let me make sure I'm in frame. Yeah. 1. Is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, hold on. I gotta read this. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Final needle. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, what is this over here? Dana said, please don't. You'd have a mask and an eye patch. What was that referring to? Oh, myself and the, yeah. Well, while rakish and somewhat debonair, you have enough of that going on. Just saying, yeah, just add to mine. I really don't want to lose an eye because I think I have pretty big brown eyes. But I can pull off that look if I had to. Might have to change my hat though. Now we're going to knit another 3 rounds, all the way around, 3 rows. 1. It takes no time at all. It usually takes me about 20 minutes or so. That's why I saved it for today. Yesterday's lesson would have gone on for too long, and I was ready to get the hell out. I really was. If y'all watched me, I was doing my best not to have some kind of breakdown. I did good. I watched it back later, a couple of hours later, and I was like, oh, it wasn't so bad. It wasn't so bad at all. And again, that stuff doesn't, that sort of gripping anxiety that keeps you not only stuck at home, but also kind of self-isolated from other people. And I don't mean physically, I mean emotionally. It can happen like that. Like yesterday, for instance, it happened like about an hour or 2 before I was about to go live, and it just went bam. Okay, this is row 2. I hear Betty in the background. It's row 2. Oops. I do love our afternoon thunderstorms in Florida. I really do. Dark and dramatic. Okay, this is the 3rd row. If you're looking too close or it's too bright or something, I'm just going to keep it. So the last needle, 3rd row. Now we're going to knit 4 and then knit 1 front and back, knit 4, next needle. You know what I mean. 1, 2, 3, 4, knit 1 front and back. 1, 2, 3, 4, knit 1 front and back. Next needle. Knit 1, 2, 3, 4, knit 1 front and back. 1, 2, 3, 4, knit 1 front and back. Next needle. Oh, it's all up on top of me now. I'm not going to tell you what book it hit that time. I don't like that book. I'm surprised I still have it. I think I only have it because it's been signed by the author. I don't want to get political. I will just say, but it's a very political, famous political book that the author somehow signed in 1992. Next, we're going to knit 2 rows all the way around, not 3, not 1, 2. Oh, let's see. I have to go out amongst yesterday and play bumper carts at Walmart. I have a form of Gory Plo. Yeah, wears me out. Also, I talk and text too much. You probably didn't notice. Well, let's knit 2 rows. I keep getting off screen, I guess. I'm reaching for the light. One. And knit the second row. Two. Last needle. Okay, this will be the last row of increases. We're going to, as we did before, knit 5, knit 1 front and back, knit 5, knit 1 front and back all the way around. 2, 3, 4, 5. Front and back. 4, 5. Knit 1 front and back. And then 2, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Knit 1 front and back. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Knit 1 front and back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Knit 1 front and back, and now we're just going to knit 6 rows. So y'all get started on that. I'm going to use the men's room. Be right back. By the way, y'all do know that I have been doing a lot of other knitting in between our lessons, right? I found this beautiful skein that my friend Lynn sent me. Look, it's all this wonder. Oh, it's so cool. Yeah, you can't see it. It doesn't look good on the camera, but it is so cute. So I've already done like, here, I'll show you a bazillion pieces. It's raining arms and legs. But it's an ombre. And if you're out there, thank you so much. I love this stuff. It's just a basic red heart too. And I never have a really good experience knitting teddy bears with red heart, but red heart's always a go-to for me for Afghans and stuff, but that stuff is working wonderfully. So that's why I've already done like the workings up of basically 2 teddy bears, because I guess it's like with socks. I'm gonna get on my 6 rows now while we're talking. I guess it's like socks. I get a little bored with working in the same color all the time. So when I do socks, I love self-striping because I love watching the colors change. And I just feel like a big dork going, oh, I can't wait to see what color comes next. Which is why, and I'm a speedy knitter. I'm trying to get my elbow. I'll just go back here. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. I can do a pair of socks in probably 2 days. And part of the motivation, though, is that I'm using self-striping yarn, and I'm just so anxious to see the next colorway come into play. And so I just sit and keep going around and around watching the colors come out. Love it. And that's why I'm loving that ombre. It's when I heard someone, these, I don't know, the world has gotten weird, very weird. You don't need me to tell you that. But someone was commenting somewhere, I don't remember, but it was about yarn and how finding gender neutral yarn was such a problem. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm holding an entire pound of pink. That's not gender neutral, I get it. But it's only if you decided that pink is obviously a girl's color. Gender neutral colors. What does that mean? Isn't that just basic white? Just can't. Guess I'm not going there today. I don't feel like it. It's Sunday. Okay, I'm on row 2. I'm sure y'all are way ahead of me. Row 3. Row 4. Almost there, kids. Almost there. Philip asked me if I would go to Publix today. He's out of coffee creamer. I said, no, I'm afraid I can't. He was like, Gregory, you're just doing so well. You know, you're able to leave the house and you don't freak out and insist we have to go back soon. We don't have to go places where you can make sure that the house can be seen. Oh, what's the matter now? And I said, well, the buses just don't run on Sunday. That's all. So can't help you. I'll see what they've got at 7-Eleven. I'm on row 5. I'm zoning out. I'm getting into my work. Y'all are like, okay. Now what? And I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm getting into my own work. Found that zone. We should do a collage of faces of knitters while they're working. I want to test my theory about this. Face rest, knitter rest face. I want to see if it really is a close comparison to resting bitch face, resting knit face. I think I'm going to start a hashtag. I guess I've got my own homework. Okay, last needle, 6th row. Someone cute on my Facebook said that she was watching me knit, and I was like a machine, and I was like, or like a madman. Okay, the next row, we're going to start our ow, bit my tongue. We're going to do our decreases, and we're going to just go in reverse with a knit row in between. So if we ended our increases with knit 5, knit 1 front and back, then obviously we're going to decrease by knitting 5 and then knitting 2 together all the way around. We're just taking back the stitches we put on. 2, 3, 4, 5. Knit 2 together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Knit 2 together. I don't know if y'all can hear Betty. She's playing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Knit 2 together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Knit 2 together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Knit 2 together, and then knit the next row. Excuse me. I don't know if y'all saw on my Facebook, Philip in the utility room found a couple of limbs in some of them old crates we had. And he constructed with a couple of plants something of like a little tree house for the cats. Bacon's too fat for it, but he loves to watch Betty race up and down it. Of course, Mario's too old and has no interest. But so Betty is always in there just leaping from limb to limb. It's the cutest thing. And she makes the most adorable little noises. She has, we think, imaginary friends. She talks to a lot of, she talks a lot to begin with, but if she's not talking to you, she's talking at a blank wall. There's a famous spot behind the toilet. There's nothing back there but tile. And in the corner, she will stand and just talk to it. It's the weirdest thing. This isn't the only place that, in our last place, there was a spot on the balcony up towards the ceiling. She would spend all day just looking at it, and she'd talk to it and look at it. Crazy. Next row. Knit 4, knit 2 together, all the way around. 3, 4. But anyway, it's on my Facebook page. I took a little video of it. It's cute. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. Knit 2 together. 2, 3, 4. Knit 2 together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Knit 2 together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Knit 2 together. And again, knit the next round. Oh, let's see what y'all are up to over here. Oh, y'all are talking to each other. Okay, that's even better. Again, this is, I guess, the best that we can come up with when it comes to a knit along. Someone was very kind enough to suggest I could use their Zoom account and I could have up to 100 people. I was like, I think that's a lot of talking. I'm going to start simple, just me, and then we'll graduate from there. I'd love to do more of these. I really would. I have enjoyed myself. I've also enjoyed having to battle a demon or two here or there and say, come on, Gregory, we have discovered recently that the only really good therapy that works on me is to tell me not to do something or to just do it even though I'm afraid to do it. Next row, we're going to knit 3, knit 2 together, all the way around. 1, 2, 3, knit 2 together. 1, 2, 3, knit 2 together. Yeah, I'm a little tight with this one today. I think it's just being on camera, my tension is a little tighter, maybe from just a little bit of stress. Nothing crazy, it's just, you know, your tension always, you know, is a little different when you're a little uptight. I'm not uptight, I'm just, you know, I'm on display. 1, 2, 3, knit 2 together. 1, 2, 3, knit 2 together. 1, 2, 3, knit 2 together. Knit the next row. That was forceful. Do what I tell you, knit the next row. If you would kindly knit the next row, we can move along with the project. Boy, I can't wait to start doing all the embroidering and sewing. We're gonna have to get creative with my laptop and the camera. And I've tested this out earlier today. I think I got how we can do this. If not, I have a backup. I will put a link down below from a video that I did about 2 or 3 years ago that is still just as relevant, and it's done with everything in my lap. I'll put that as an insurance policy in the link description box below. Next row, you're going to knit 2 together all the way around. Funny, you do this thing enough And the work will almost tell you what needs to happen next. One, two, knit two together. Yep. One, two, knit two together. Knit all the way around, please. Ow. Sitting all stupid. And then your last row, you're going to knit all two stitches together, knit two together all the way around. And you should end up with 3 stitches total when we're finished. 3 on each needle, excuse me, or 9 like we started with. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then last needle. 1, 2. Come here, man. Last stitch. Come on, let's go. 3. Woo! Leave a nice long, again, maybe another 10 inches or so because we're going to use this. Snip. Now I've got my embroidery needle and we're going to take the live stitches off of each needle by slipping them off onto the needle. There, 1. Do y'all need to see that really? 2, 3. Next one. 1, 2, 3. And don't pull it tight now when you're doing this. You don't want to do that, not yet. You need to have room so we can put the polyfill in. So, you know, let it stay nice and loose. And like I said, don't draw it through, just pull it off the needle. There we go. Now, like we did with the body, we're going to take the cast on piece that we have from earlier. We're just going to thread the needle, stick the needle through that hole. Make sure we're on the inside so you can see what's going on. And just sew up the inside from the inside. Yes, you could sew it up from the outside, but why would you? Tight. Our head is ready to be filled. Okay, got it? Ready to go? Do y'all need a second? We okay? I love you, a natural lighter. Cheers. We might get some sun after all. Okay, got my polyfill. Like we did earlier, we're not going to shove a big handful right in there. Small amounts. And we're going to start shaping what we're putting it in there. Now, after I put in just the first couple of pieces so I can see basically the face, I'm going to then start just determining, okay, you see that round circle right there? Not really. I call it the crater. It's where we did all of our front and backs right there, and then we did the 3. I use this crater as a guide, and I like the line to go horizontally. It's easier to put the nose on top of that and have the nose and then the mouth under here. You use this as a guide. I'm trying to get it better. I think you can see it good enough. I call it the crater. Anyway, I've got my other teddy bear that's already ready to go, just in case I need to show you more of what I mean on a different piece. Maybe the color won't help. But with that in mind, I've got my snout, basically. So I'm going to start putting in most of my polyfill with that in mind. Like the top of the head is going to have more attention placed to it. And the cheeks. Put them in from the side. Man, I really want some better light. Not better light, better camera. I want a better camera. Let's see. This does take some finesse and some practice. But if you just start putting in your polyfill and shaping everything, keeping in mind the crater, and I actually start pinching it to see. Okay, this will get more and more like a teddy bear. Yeah, you can see his eyes are going to be where I'm pinching, so I can see which way I'm going. Yeah. Yeah. Put more in here. Be generous with your polyfill. It's okay. Keep stuffing. Stuffing. Now, I give you this cute little stick I've never needed, but don't do it, I guess, if you do. Philip tried to do an art project because, we go through a lot of polyfill in this house. He had a bunch of these things. Never ended up in nothing. Okay. Getting there. See? Pinch it. There we go. Starting to see a face. I think that's enough for mine, at least. Got him right here. Okay. Once you think you've got enough polyfill in, go ahead. See, I don't see. That's always my thing. If I can stick my finger that far in, I don't have enough polyfill. I just don't. That's better. Much better. Yeah, once you feel you've got enough polyfill, go ahead and take this this hole and go ahead and draw it all tight. Leave it there for now. We're going to deal with that in a minute. I'm going to run and get something to drink. We're not going to take a long break. I'm just going to go freshen my drink. And then we'll be right back to put on the nose, eyes, and mouth. Cool. Y'all get to stuffing. Okay. I don't even think I mentioned this in my introduction or even at any point throughout this whole knit along, that you are obviously going to need some black yarn for the face. Now, I've seen people, actually just a couple of days ago, a woman who knit one of my teddy bears. And Diane, I think even yours might have had red. I could be wrong. Somebody recently used red and it was just cute. I think it was you, Diane. 1, 2, 3, and that's how I do it basically. I guess that's 3 yards. 1, 2, 3. Again, some people are like, that's an awful lot. I've had this skein. I only use it for faces. Had it for over a year. You're fine. And again, having too much is better than not having enough at all. So you're going to thread the needle. I'm going to try and do this like I did it this morning, okay? Bear with me. Now, again, I mentioned what I call the crater. And that's that part right there. You can see it better now. Yeah, there it is, right through there, the crater. I come in from underneath the work. Find a nice spot somewhere right here in the middle. That's going to be where you anchor everything. The ears, the eyes, all of it, so that it doesn't come apart, because we're going to put this on top of the body and nobody's going to see it anyway. But that's where we're going to start and end all of our weavings and stuff. And keep in mind, we're going to go from point A to point B to C to D to E to F. I know that makes no sense to you, but rather than doing them as individual pieces, that's why we have one long piece of string or yarn, so that we can just do it as one piece so that there's no fear of any part of it coming out. So again, we're going to start at the bottom, and I'm going to go to the left side. Okay. That's what it is, the arm of my chair. I'm sitting stupid again. I had to sit like kind of side saddle. Boy, I got this. I got this. I got this. Okay, so we're going to go through the middle, or excuse me, from the left. Pull it and leave it about, that's good, about 2 or 3 inches. Go right across the middle of the crater to the other side. Go 1 stitch out further than the crater, because the tension when you go back to the other side is going to pull it, so it'll be even. If you go to the opposite end of the crater at the exact opposite stitch, it'll be too short. So go in from that 1 stitch over and go just under all of your work to come out where you started to begin with. There we go. I've never done this sideways. That's that. So we got the start of our nose, okay? Now we're going to keep doing that maybe 3 or 4 times, 5 if you feel like it. You can go as many as you want. Just don't be ridiculous. But when we go back and forth, we're not going to go on top of that. We're going to go above it, just above one, and then the next one above that one, nice and tight, so that they're flat. Again, my experience has shown me if I do them over and over, it's messy. So just go back into the stitch you were in before, come back out like you started. Damn it, don't make me put on my glasses. Okay. So right above it. Now the third one above that, go back in where you were. And of course, I hold my finger on top of it so it stays in place. Draw it all through. Yeah, you're going to get remnants of polyfill. We'll take care of that later. Don't worry about it. Let's see if I can do it this way. Put my finger there to hold it. It's going on top, above, excuse me, into the other. Into there. I'm going to go, excuse me, 1 more row. Now, if this is going to be my last row, I'm not going to come back out where I started. I'm actually going to come out here to start the, I don't know what you call that on a bear, to get to his mouth. And to make sure that I get it as centered as possible, I like to take one of my needles and kind of find right in the middle and just put it in there as a placeholder so that my needle can find it and come out. I've tried to do it without my needle there before, and I come out way too shy or way too far. Because you're holding it different and you're squeezing it and you're like, well, damn, that's not the middle. So just try this version. Just use one of your bamboo sticks. Loosen it if you have to. And then, whoops, find it with your other needle and then just come out in that spot. There we go. Already looking like a real teddy bear. Okay, that's what we got so far. Y'all with me, kids? Okay, now what we're gonna do, this is really where you find the personality of your own teddy bear, basically. Sometimes I do them 3 stitches down, sometimes it's 4 or 5, sometimes it's only 2. You just start to see what the bear wants to start looking like. But as a safe measure, go down about 3 stitches here. I guess that's what, 1/4 of an inch? We're gonna go in through that spot. Okay. And we're gonna come out down here. Let me start. Here's what's gonna happen. We're gonna come in through about there. And when we come out, we're gonna be starting the mouth down about over here. So we're gonna go down and back out this way. So I'm going 3 stitches in, go down, I guess, yeah. Nice. And then we'll just test it before we actually commit to it. Just hold it over. Okay. Looking good. And then stick your needle back in to where you entered with that. I should find the name of what that's called. And again, do the same on the opposite side. Come out about right there. And once again, go 1 stitch further than you normally would, because the tension when you come back up is going to pull it. So you can go, it'll be shorter if you just went the exact opposite stitch. Just right there. And again, I want to see what it looks like before I commit. So I'm just going to pull it back over where I would be going. And I think that looks like a teddy bear. All right then. Now, when we go back in through that centerpiece again, we're going to start making the eye. And we're going to come out, it's usually diagonally right about right here. So we're going to go back in through the lips, the top lip, whatever that is. Come out right about there. Oops. Again, we're just thinking 1 or 2 steps ahead. Every time you go back into the work, you're just coming out a different direction. The eyes, I like to give maybe 2, 3 stitches over. And then again, you're going to go in there and come out the opposite side to make the other eye. So you're always just kind of, you're going in one direction to come out someplace completely different to create something else. So I'm going to go 2 stitches and I'm going to go across and just kind of eyeball it. Okay, we got 1 eyeball. We're going to do exactly the same in the other. Make sure it's the same angle too. Do another 2 stitches over there. And when you go in this time, you're going to come out where you started with this eye. We're going to start doing a couple of figure 8s, 3 of them, I believe. So we're going to do 2 stitches here and bring it out where we started. And don't pull it tight. Don't pull it tight. And we're going to see. It doesn't look the same on mine. Mine looks more even than it did there. So we're going to do figure 8s. It's about 3 times. We're going to go in through here, that first eyeball, come out here, go over the eye, go back in the pupil, and keep doing that 3 times. So once, pupil over here, come out the corner of the eye, on the other eye, over the eye, back into the pupil. corner of the eye, back into the pupil, come out the corner of the other eye, and then back to the corner of this one. But this time, we're going to give it a little bobble to give it a little pop. So I'm going to basically go in here and back out here and back in here, excuse me, going over this eyeball once more by itself to give it a lift. So I'm just going to go in, like that. Bam. Put it back into the pupil. Oh, I keep calling it the pupil. I don't know why. I'm going to learn the anatomy of a bear today. We're going to do the same with the other eye. Where you go here, we're going to just go over it one time. Give it a nice little bobbly shape thing. And then back in, and we're going to come out here. And we're going to tie those two together. All right. Ow. Okay. Got my pieces here. I'm just going to tie them up quite a few times. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's good enough. I'm going to snip them off. I'm not going to cut them all the way. I'm just going to cut like, leave that much. And see, after we did all that, this was all that was left of those, what, 3 yards that we did? That's it. It's nothing. That's why you want to have more than less. Okay, so you might look at this bear and say, like, well, that doesn't look as good as yours, Gregory. What has happened here? Well, this is where the contouring comes in. And contouring is so much fun. If you can use contouring, I've made skeletons with it, with my knitting. Oh man, contouring is so much fun. This piece that we have here, we're going to go ahead and thread it. We're just going to go. We're just going to go underneath and sew up this hole. Don't go all the way into the project. You know, you just keep pulling out more polyfill. So just go under it enough to start closing up that hole at the back of the head. Like a hole at the back of the head. And I guess 2 or 3 times is enough. And the last time that you go in, hunt down this corner and come out here. And when you come out, go back in here, just underneath the black, underneath the eye, not over it. Watch what happens. Okay, I'm gonna go in. Whoops. Okay, so there he is, there he is. See the needle coming out? Pull that through, and then we're going to go back in this corner right here and go straight all the way down. It's getting there. See? Now we're going to go this other side. We're going to bring it out through this side. Again, go under, don't go on top of the black now, and go back in the corner and go straight down. Oh, if you're wondering, do I have to go back through the same hole? No, you can go 2 over. That'll just help anchor everything. It's not important to go right back through. So I'm coming in through, you see, there. Go in, go into the corner, straight down. Now we're going to do a figure 8. We're going to go back to the one we were in before. Do like we did with the black, and then come back down again. So we're going to come up here, and through the, there we go. Go through the top corner of his eye, come back underneath the other one. I should have like neon lit needles so you can see everything. Go through the corner again, and then go straight down. One really cool figure eight. Simple. Now, also, this is another trunk. That could be enough. But you can look at it and go, you know, I think I want this eye lower. I want the snout a little more. And I'm looking at mine going, I think I want this eye over here a little lower. So I'm just going to go, again, from that bottom corner up into the corner by the snout. And then just go straight down again. And that's what we got. It's the first bear I've ever made sideways. One of my eyes is a little smaller than the other. It's okay. Now, this piece here, we're going to anchor it. We're just kind of going under here. You know, just grabbing a couple of stitches and tying it off with knots. Nothing crazy. Give them 2 or 3. And honestly, kids, that is, I think, the most difficult part of doing this teddy bear is just giving it, and look, I'm just pulling it out a little more. Make my, ta-da. Okay. Bear has the sweetest face. Thank you. Making my bear from Red Heart Super Saver Jumbo Stripes. I'm dying to see that, what it looks like. So Duana, send me an email with your bear when it's done. You all should if you're making one. Anybody who's watching this as a rebroadcast, please, if you made a teddy bear with my pattern, please send me a picture at madmanknitting@gmail.com. I would love to see that. I love seeing them. So, and then just cut this piece off. We are going to start on the ears. It's the last bit of knitting we have to do. Doesn't take very long. Each ear, maybe 5 minutes. I'm dying for a cigarette. But let's get started. I think that's what I'll do. I am not ashamed to say that I am having something of a nicotine fit. So we'll get started on the first ear. I'll go jump and do a cigarette, and you do the second ear. I bet you I have it done before. Yeah, no time. What do we learn for this pattern? Every piece starts with a nice long cast on. Good 2 or 3 inches. We're going to use only 2 of our double pointeds because we're only going to go back and forth. So we're going to cast on 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to knit front and back in each one across. Front and back. Knit front and back. See what time is. Oh, that's not so bad. Knit front and back. Knit front and whoa. Knit front and back. Knit front and back. Someone has got to come up with some rap lyrics or hip hop lyrics using just knitting slang and lingo, or just the abbreviated words we use for everything. Yo, SSK. Purl. Next row. Knit one front and back, all the way down. Knit one front and back. 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 Next row, purl. Okay, the next row, we're going to knit 2. I knit 1 front and back all the way across. One, 2, knit 1 front and back. See, it almost has a rhythm to it. It could be a song. 1, 2, knit 1 front and back. 1, 2, knit 1 front and back. 1, 2. Can I get a knit 1 front and back? Front and back. Okay, next row, purl. And that's pretty much halfway through the ear because now we're just going to decrease the stitches that we just added. So purl this row. There we go. Diane's got her granddaughter. I'm sure y'all are reading, but if y'all are watching the rebroadcast, Diane has her granddaughter with her. They're making meatballs for dinner while trying to watch this. If ever there was a meatball, it's got to be me. We're going to knit 2 together. 1, 2, 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 knit 2 together. Next row, purl. You know how someone did they do those mock songs. I don't know what they're called. They're not quite mashups. Maybe they are. But where they take someone speaking like Trump. My favorite one is the Space Force song where they make him sound like he's singing by just using the actual text. We got to find a way to take some of the crap I've said in here and turn it into some kind of mashup. That would be hilarious. And purl. Next row. Knit 1, knit 2 together all the way down. Knit 1, knit 2. Again, this is just basic concepts of like amigurumi. It's just learning how to increase and decrease to make shapes at will. They don't always have to be circles, but just knowing how to increase and decrease, you can go all over the place and make all kinds of things. Next row, purl. We're going to knit all stitches 2 together, 2 stitches all the way down. Knit 2 stitches all the way across. So you should end up with 6 when you're done. 6 stitches. Five, 6. You are done knitting your first ear. Y'all go ahead. Oh, sorry. Real quick. Leave it on the needle for now. See, that's how bad I want a cigarette. We're going to go ahead and thread this. We want to get rid of this, but we want to do it in a way that it's hidden under like the ear fold right here. So that's why I keep it so you have enough, basically enough room to sew. Basically just go as close as you can to the edge, make a couple of knots, pull them as tight as you want. There's another one. Just I'm anchoring, but I'm also hiding this at the same time, because if we cut it and it's still got that little, you know, on the end, just ruins the whole thing. So you do it this way so you can hide it under this thing, flap, fold. Cut it as close, but don't go too close, baby. You know that. You know, never, never, never go too close. Close enough. And that actually hides underneath the fold. You can't ever see it. Cut, again, nice 6-8 inches. Leave it on the needle. Go ahead, start your next ear, and I'll be back in just a second. I'm going to go have a cigarette. I think I've deserved one. Back in just 2 minutes. Okay, I'm back. Stopped for a piece of fruit. In my weird little head, the idea of having a cigarette and having a piece of fruit somehow cancels it out in the universe. Of course not. But I eat a lot of fruit. I do. I'm gonna go ahead and get caught up on my ear. I've never been prone to snacking on like chocolate or potato chips. It's just not my thing. I always have like a little, I'm a grazer. So I've always got little containers in the fridge of like cut up cheese blocks, maybe some olives, a couple of sun-dried tomatoes, fruit. And I've always got like sunflower seeds and stuff like that in the pantry. My husband laughs at me. He does not eat like that. No, he is a definite spoonful of peanut butter and a tub of ice cream kind of guy. But I love that, man. I truly do. A note on the contouring, by the way. I was thinking about it when I was in the kitchen. The first quite a few of my bears never had that. It wasn't until, I don't know, I had one of those eureka moments. And I don't know, my grandmother must have been just shoving some kind of image into my mind. I kept seeing back in the 80s when country crafts was a big deal. It'd become like the thing. That's how you decorated your home with, like roosters and crap. It seemed to me that at that time, one of the most popular dolls was the one, I guess it looked like a witch or something, but it was made out of pantyhose. And that's how they did all the faces and everything, which is by contouring. And I was like, oh God, yeah, let me try that. And then I fell in love with contouring. It's kind of funny that I think about when I talk about my grandmother, that she might be viewed as some old country woman who, now, not at all. Hell, she only died 20 years ago? It's been almost 20 years ago. Only 20 years. Listen to me. She wasn't very old when she passed either. She was only about, I think she was 77. But that woman had lived in Japan, France, Germany, had been a housewife, and then a second wave feminist by getting a job at a bank, and not only wearing pants everywhere, but wearing the pants she made. And yeah, she was quite the character. That's why I said I'd love to write a book about her, but she would come back to life just to kill me. She was also a very beautiful woman, very beautiful woman. And she knew that, not in a vain way at all. She hated people staring at her, because she was a beautiful woman. And she was a big camera buff as well. And it's kind of funny because, let's say in the 80s, she was probably in her 50s, I guess. I'm not going to do the math real quick. I'm just recalling from memory. In the 80s, she was probably in her 50s, and she would always show you her latest and greatest new camera that she had and all of the beautiful pictures of flowers. And then she started taking pictures of herself with the flowers, and they were gorgeous. Just gorgeous. So she was one of the first to do selfies. I'm almost done with my ear, don't worry. And then after that, this bear is almost done. It is not going to take at all to put all these pieces. That is, if you've done your homework. And at that point, it takes no time at all to put everybody together. I tell you, the most daunting part must be making the face. The most time consuming is obviously the knitting, but just the time that you spend on the body in one day, that's a good hour, hour and a half of your time. Doing the arms and legs, maybe 2 hours. So we're talking 3 or 4 hours right there. And then putting it all together, one's taking us about an hour and a half. So again, you can make this teddy bear with some practice in less than 6 hours. And again, I apologize for as sideways as some of this stuff is. That other video mentioned, I will have in the link below, so you can get at least multiple angles. All right, almost there. Okay. Let's see what y'all are talking about over here. Yeah, I remember you and I, Dana, talking about our interesting global histories. Yeah. The pantyhose phases. Apple dolls was the other one. And I kept trying to explain it to Philip, and I was like, if I'm not mistaken, they had things like cloves stuck in them to help them shrink, but also to scent the house. I could be wrong, but I do remember the apple face dolls. They had some creepy crafts in the 80s in the country, didn't they? Old piece of pair of pantyhose. Let's fill it with polyfill and put some lipstick on it and sell it. That's American ingenuity right there. The pet rock, anyone will buy it. Just do my ear thingamabob real quick. Hello, Elaine. You ain't late. Not that late. You're not late. Okay. That one there. I'm doing my little ear part here. Okay, that's good. Cut off that. Never too close, baby. Never too close. Okay. My piece. Got your little bear head ready to go. I got my 6 to 8 inches. We are done with that skein for now. Well, for this lesson, for all of it. That's it. We're done knitting. We're just going to put everybody together now. It's going to take no time. Your ear. Go ahead. Thread. And take the live stitches off. Draw it through. Over here, there's about, you can almost feel it in a way. I can't explain if it's 1 or 2 stitches, but you can just see that. That would be nice if I was in view. It's about 1 or 2 stitches, but I want you to go ahead and put the needle in right about there. If you look, it's about 1 or 2 stitches away from the end. That makes it just so much easier and straighter to attach it, because now it's like when we did the arm and I said it's counterintuitive to move it all the way over here, but if you do, it makes a straight line. It's the same idea. So we got our ear ready to go. This part here, our working piece. Put this over here so we move sideways again. Now I generally kind of fan it out so you can figure out where it was you want to start. So that you just kind of pinch it with your thumb, see where you want to go. That seems about right. Maybe, yeah, I think so. Go ahead and knit under the 2 stitches where you want to start. Again, don't go all the way through too much. You're just going to pull out polyfill. Just go under those 2 stitches. Pull them out. Go under. Damn, this is a terrible angle. This is a lot like the other things I've told you. Never go through the first row when you're sewing. You'll just have big gaping holes. So please go 1 stitch up and just start sewing up. There you go. Go back to like I told you from behind. Just go right under those 2 stitches underneath. Keep kind of fanning it out while you're working on it, so it's moving in the right direction. Through here. And since it's sideways and my ears come out wickedly weird, who cares? All right. Yeah. Just gonna finish this up from this angle because I'm starting to lose the blood in my head. Okay, and then when we get to the very last one, when you think, yeah, that's exactly the way I want it to look, those last, again, underneath, just barely underneath. When we're at the end, I decided I was going to go one more. Right under. Go through the corner right here. This corner right here. Boop, because you want to be able to pull it this way. Come back behind it, and like you did with the other ones over here, just go under those 2 stitches, barely under the surface, just underneath them. Pull it real tight, then go into the next stitch next to it, put your needle in, and bring it out through the bottom. With all of our other stuff, we're just going to go ahead and anchor the ear. So pull it tight, make sure it's the way you want it, because once it's there, it's there. Yeah. So like we did before with our contouring, just make a couple of knots in a couple of the stitches under here to secure it. And that is going to be good enough. I'm going to take this, cut it off. It's the first ear. Nothing to it. Second ear. Exactly as we did before, just in the opposite side of the head. But again, same philosophy. Hold it up, pinch it, kind of fan it out a little, see where it is you want to start. Make sure it's kind of comparable to the other side. I'm going to take my needles off, my live stitches off, get them on my needle. Go up those 1 or 2. You can see it happens almost naturally. Pull it through there, so we have our straight line. And I'm going to say about there, maybe. Yeah. Go under those first 2, bring it through, go back through the ear, but don't go under. Y'all can't see a thing I'm doing. Sorry. I was just noticing my ear. I have a boo-boo. I'm going to fix that eventually. Don't you worry about it. But I noticed it and I was like, huh, how the hell do I fix that? Y'all don't worry about it. That's a different. Don't even worry about it. I'll pinch it a couple of times. You see, I dropped a stitch. I dropped a damn stitch right there. Man. Okay, I got this. I'm going to have to fix that before I do anything. Don't worry about it. Y'all keep carrying on. It'll just take me 2 seconds. I believe I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go up one or two and just sew it back in. That is some messed up stuff right there. Yeah, I'm going to just save that one. See if I can do what I can. Yeah, pull it through. Basically, what I did was the live stitch that had dropped was starting to unravel everything. So I just took the needle and drew my thread through it to keep it from losing any more stitches. So we should be good. It looks almost like the other one. I can hide this. Don't you worry about it. You know, there are probably a million bears up. Not a million. A lot of bears that I've done that have boo-boos you've never seen. All right. I'm going to put this, because I'm sideways, my ears are a little further back than normal. That's quite all right. He just, again, it's not wrong. It just has a different look, a different personality. Okay. I'm going to try and, again, like I said, I'm going to try and fix this one little boo-boo. I think I got it. Almost. Okay, again, I'm fanning it out, I'm cupping it, and doing what I can so that it matches the other one. It'd be really funny if I already had a swap out and I just kind of hid this under the table and was like, and this is your bear. I actually can't do that. I've got one over there. I could actually do that. Huh. Yeah, his ears are a little further back than I normally have them, but it's just a different look. It's still cute as hell. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, so I'm going to anchor this here, and we're going to attach the body. Again, right through there, all the way down to our little hidden area. We're anchoring everything underneath. Now, if your bits and pieces are ready to go, the body, you're going to close up that circle, the opening at the top, just like you did the back of the head. You're just going to go through it a couple of times. Just maybe like 2 or 3, just to close it up. That's good. And your last go through, I like to keep it right about, let's see, can you see? I don't know, what is that about? Just 2 or 3 stitches down from the middle to meet the neck or the head. So basically I'm gonna put my head on top of where I got my yarn. I keep stressing this, just go under those right there, barely under like 1 stitch, okay, when you're doing your sewing. Don't go too any further than that. Again, you pull out polyfill all over the place. But this first time, do not pull it tight. Leave it relaxed, okay? So I've decided that's where we're going to attach. Cool. Go ahead, do the first 2. Like I said, don't pull it tight. Bottom one, same stitch concept, just barely underneath those 2. Don't pull it tight. Next one, right next to it, we're just going to go around. And this time, you pull it tight. And then keep pulling it tight from there on. You pull that first one too tight, you end up with what looks like a crater on the back that you can never pull out. So we're just going to sew all the way around. Just barely above, excuse me, just barely below the stitches. Start twisting it and Just follow it. Just keep following it. This is also another time if you wanted to do something cute, like have its head cocked to one side, then obviously you would adjust the stitches as you're going around that they'd be tilted more one direction. Man, I'm looking forward to actually being done with this so I can say, damn it, we did it. Together. When I get to the front, I make sure I try to stay as far away from the mouth as possible. I like getting as close to all the underground junk, just so he has a chin. Okay, when we're at the very last stitch, I like to end on the bottom, go to the stitch next to it, put your needle in, and I want you to come out right here on the bottom of the body, okay? And again, try not to pull too tight, but if you do, because you sometimes have no choice, you see you end up with that ding back there, just poof it out, back to normal. And then anchor under here as like maybe just one stitch, pull one up to make knots, tighten them up, 2 or 3. And then insert back in the bottom, come out the back. I know, you're like, what the hell are you doing? Just trust me on this. Pull it all the way out the back. Let's get a poof back. And then snip this off. And it'll rest back into the body. It'll just fall itself back in. This helps to ensure this head ain't going nowhere. And you can beat the crap out of this bear. His head is going to stay on. As a matter of fact, all of his limbs will, because we're going to do the same kind of interweaving, lock it here, lock it there kind of thing. Legs, let's go. Now, there it is. Got my first leg. We're all sewn up. Remember from the other day, we still had this long piece attached. I hope you didn't cut it. We're going to go back inside from behind the back heel and come out the top about 2 stitches down, right about here, in what's basically the middle or somewhat the center of the whole leg. Mm-hmm. Pull it too tight, don't worry about it. Just reshape it before you do anything else, because it will be stuck like that. Ta-da. Now, I'm going to do it in my lap. Again, the other video has the other angle, but this is very simple. all of these increases that we have at the bottom from where we started our work, that's where I want you to attach the leg. And of course, do it right in line with the ear. So if you're holding it side by side, you see those are my increases right here. So I'm going to put my leg right there. Got it? It's very simple mapping. You're going to do like we did with the back of the neck. Go in those 2 stitches, come back down these 2 stitches. Don't pull them tight. Move on to the one to the left and start going around and then pull them tight. Okay? We got this. So I do it with it between my legs so I can really look at it. I see my increases. I'm centered with my bear. His ears are right there above, so we are in line. This first 2 stitches from above, don't pull it tight. First 2 stitches on the leg, don't pull it tight. Next stitch, tight. And from that point forward. And again, just follow the work all the way around. And I am, I'm working upside down now. I'm going like this because I'm going around. So just so you know. Yeah, you don't have to keep them in the same spot. Flip the dude, flip them. Okay, almost there. Once again, there's a trick to fastening off the leg to make sure it's so secure you can beat the crap out of this bear. Ain't nothing gonna happen to him. He might get dirty. And since I'm using acrylic, he could easily probably go in the wash. I've never washed one of my bears. I really should. In theory, they should be okay, but you never know. Okay. Got about 2 stitches left to go. Back and forth, up and down, from bottom to top. And like I said, with the neck, I like to end on the bottom piece I'm working on, so the leg. We're going to take this piece now. We're going to go into the stitch next to where we came out of. We're going to come out on the seam. You know what I mean? Right there on the seam. Doesn't matter where, just anywhere on there. Pull it out. Again, if you pull too tight, go ahead and pull your dent out. We're going to anchor it on the back of the leg on the seam. Just pick up one of those little stitches. Just tiny amount. Give it a couple of knots. And then go back into the bear's leg, come out the opposite side. Put your poof back out. And cut that piece off the leg. And it will naturally go back into the body. And there's our first leg. And that ruckus is Philip coming home from work. But again, this is so secure on there. This bear is made to take a lashing. Hey, sweetheart. I don't think he heard me. I'm going to do the other leg now. Same philosophy. We're going to go in from the back of the foot, come out through the middle, find our line between the ear and the increases on the side. Start sewing away. Obviously, I use the ears and the increases as the guide so that both legs will end up in pretty much the same spot. Whoa, crap. Snagged my yarn. Damn it. What the hell did I just do? Everything's under control. Don't worry about it. I just snagged my bear with my needle. It's okay, we can fix it. It's just one of those. Damn it. It's going upside down now. It's flipping. To think we're only about 10 minutes done. Yeah, about 10 minutes, we're done. No, it's not true. Yes, it is. This is one of the cutest, easiest patterns you can come across. Quick too. And again, as far as I can tell, if you're hard pressed for money and you need gifts for little ones or baby showers, whatever, this one you can make for less than 10 bucks if you have to go get material. And somebody asked me, they're like, how do you feel about, somebody making one of your own teddy bears and trying to sell them? I'm like, I guess if you can do that, I don't know, would I be pissed? I guess a little, but I don't think that's what people are looking for. I think people are looking to see if I made it. They're not looking for this face. They're looking for who made this face. I don't want to be arrogant, but you got to protect yourself out there. Okay, I like to end on the bottom piece. Last two. Go through the next stitch, come out again on our seam. And give it a couple of anchors, a couple of knots. Go back through and stitch next to it, pull it out. Cut that bit off. This bear now has 2 legs. Okay. Got the arms now. The only thing different about attaching the arms is very, very subtle, but it's an important detail. Got our piece like that, just like with the legs. Cute. Find the center in between, excuse me, there you are, in between the ear and the leg, using the increases where those start. That's where you want to put your shoulder. Okay? We're going to do just like we did with the leg. We're going to go the front two, this of this one, and the front two of the other one. Don't pull them tight, then move on, start going around, pulling them tight. Basically, the only ones you don't pull taut are the first two in each piece. They're all lined up. We're going to the body to get those 2 stitches. Don't pull it taut. These 2 stitches on the arm. Keep it loose. Moving to the left, those 2 stitches tight. To the arm. Tight. And all the way around. And again, this is another great opportunity if you're looking for him to be waving so that one arm is higher than the other. Again, you would just adjust the stitches by, okay, he needs to have his arm further down, so I'm going to obviously go sewing further down his arm, closer to the body. He's about to go upside down again. Flip. so I can see what's going on underneath. This way, 2 on the arm, 2 on the body, 2 in the arm, 2 in the body, 2 in the arm, 2 in the body. Almost towards done. Got that one little spot left to go. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna press his arm down because I want his arms to be kind of lowered. I'm gonna sew closer to the body in that spot, then sew back into the arm, and then just do that again to the next stitch above. And I think that's pretty much where I want them. So I'm gonna actually go into the next stitch, right next to it, go into the arm, but I'm gonna come out again on the ridge. I'm not coming out this side. I'm basically gonna go scooping under and come back out on this seam just from a different side. Okay. Yeah, that's close. It doesn't really matter where it is. I'm gonna anchor that like I did with the leg, a couple of knots in the seam, put it through the arm again. If you pull it too tight, just go ahead and pull your stuff out and then cut that piece off. This bear now has a head, 2 legs, and an arm. This is the subtlety with the other arm. I'm hoping you're smart enough, you've already figured it out. If not, that's okay. That's why I'm here. We got our piece, right? Seam is there. Well, that ain't gonna cut it. That would make the seam in front. So we're just gonna go back in through, just come out the opposite side, exact same spot, pull it through. So now that the seam is now over here and our working thread is this way. So that now we can attach it again in between the ear and the arm at our increase spot. Ta-da! And the seam is on the back. Fun. First 2 stitches of the body. Don't pull it tight. Stitches in the arm, don't pull it tight. Moving to the left, tight. Let me just finish this up. There we go. So now I have to pee. But we're almost done, so I don't need to take a break. We're almost finished. Okay, I'm flipping him over so I can work underneath his arm. Go. Okay, and I'm almost done with the front side. So again, like I did with the other side, I want them to be about even. I keep missing the little light. I'm gonna go ahead and the work is coming off of the arm, so I'm gonna attach the first 2 stitches on the body, then back through the arm once, and then the stitches above it twice, go into the stitch next to go through the arm, come out on the seam, anchor it with a couple of knots, then insert the needle to the stitch on the side of it, pull it back through. Ladies and gentlemen, your teddy bear. That's it. That's it. It's all done. Cute. This was cute. This was really fun. That's it. That's what we got. Oh, wow. Okay, before I go, thank you all so much for actually showing up for this. I appreciate it. And I had the best time, even with the couple of hiccups I had yesterday. I really, really enjoyed myself. And I hope at some point I get to do this again, doing something else. Who knows? But I thoroughly enjoyed myself. And again, if you're watching the rebroadcast, that's absolutely fine. I think we made it perfectly clear that, you know, if you just want to kind of scroll ahead, you can do that, or you can pause, you can do whatever you want, but you can still get the feeling that you're knitting along with us. And I have to do business. The link to the pattern is down below, and the lessons have been free, but if you really enjoyed yourself and you want, please tip the tutor. There's a tip jar down there. And you can always find my work at madmanknitting.wordpress.com, and find me on the Instagrams and the other things. Don't find me on Twitter. Twitter's where innocence goes to die. I'm not there. No. So before I go, again, I want to thank all of you so much for your participation, your support. Ladies, I have loved watching your little things. Yes, all of these will be rebroadcast. You can watch them again. You don't have to take notes. It's okay. And again, the link to the other video over my shoulder from a couple of years ago will be down there as well. I love you. Thank you so much. And I will see you next time.